At the end of 2019, my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Things were looking pretty grim. He's a longtime student of the Urantia book, and he had on his mind what he would like to leave people with. So he sent out a series of emails with some of his thoughts on prayer. My dad is now recovered, and he sat down to talk with me about those emails. So in this series, you're not going to hear us talk about the Urantia book so much as how its lessons have melded into our lives and shaped our attitudes toward prayer and the process of death and dying. Here's one of those emails and the conversation that we had about it.
Heaven and paradise. Okay, I'm going to define those two words here according to what works for me. And I know this doesn't have to do with prayer, but it is relevant to people who are told they have 6 months to live.
Heaven. That place we go next. We work through it. It might take 1 billion or 1 billion years, but it is a place of gradual development and perfection attainment. We've actually started right here, but we get nowhere close to done in just 67 years.
Paradise. If a focused portion of God lives in any one place, it is here, wherever that is. We're allowed here when we've achieved perfection.
And then maybe we go out and work some more in the universe as beings who really have been there and done that. But the key here is heaven, because I see heaven just as I see the physical universe.
We live in a universe where things develop. Here on Earth, trees develop, grow. People develop, from helpless babes to hot-headed 20-somethings to wiser and calmer elders.
Our solar system developed from what it was to what it is. Everything uses time to develop from what it is to what it can be.
That's how I see Earth and heaven. When we leave here, it is as if we are only 2-year-olds. We are very, very young relative to what we will be.
Heaven is where we continue to develop. Who knows how long this takes? It doesn't matter. We are literally given all the time in the world.
Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
So at this point, you're no longer staring death in the face. You appear to be well on your way to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone dies at some point, right? Sorry, Dad, you haven't avoided death. But it seems like when people either get older or they are, receiving a diagnosis of some kind that they realize they're going to be dying soon, they kind of go through a change of values than what they may have been previously. People go through their midlife with a certain set of priorities, and then they look back on their life and they're like, oh, really, it's these other things that were really important. Do you feel like you've gone through any kind of a change in that respect?
I wouldn't have written these if it wasn't for a certain brush with death. I'm almost thinking that, maybe it's good for everyone to have a little brush with death, because unless many people have that, they don't think about it. And priorities change, values change, what we think is important changes.
What do you feel like you've accomplished with this life?
Since
so
the
far?
diagnosis, or just this life?
In general.
In general. Well. People
you should
want
say
to
that
be
with more enthusiasm.
People want to be socially important, and that would be the standard answer to your question. Like, I was a teacher and I taught all these kids. I was a guitar teacher and I helped them learn life values from learning guitar. But I don't think that being socially important is our primary focus. I think our primary purpose in life is to become better people, more in tune with the ways of the universe. The way of the universe is another phrase for the will of God. And one phrase works for one kind of person, another phrase works for the other kind of person. I think we're on our way to becoming perfect, and that's our mission here. To become better at patience, to become better at being kind, to become better at smiling at people. So I think I've accomplished that.
I think so.
Good.
I feel like we should end with a hug or something. It's going to seem very staged now that I've just said it.
A wave or a thank you or
A handshake.
and a big smile to the camera. You're welcome, Alice.
I can't wave and shake at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
We need to play the piano.
Ooh, you gonna go play piano in the background, Huck?
Okay.
Now's your chance. Get back, so let's root for the home team. If they